Welcome to GameGrin's Weekly Roundup, a selection of the biggest news stories from the world of video games. Let's get right into it with a new transition. Whether it's Candy Crush, Overwatch or both, some of us can get addicted to games at some point in our lives. And it turns out it isn't just us that can get addicted, it can happen to big time sports stars too. Neil Robertson, Snooker world champion in 2010, came out as a former video game addict this week. He was so engrossed in his passion for video games like World of Warcraft, Diablo 2, FIFA and League of Legends that he felt it affected his professional career at the time. Neil's comments about FIFA specifically really hit home with those who suffer from either addiction, procrastination, whatever you want to call it, where he would say to himself, and I quote, "I'll just have one game with a cup of coffee to wake myself up, and before you know it, it's 2 PM. Without a doubt, Neil would have found it very difficult to come out about his video game addiction at his own admission. And if you feel like you are someone that is being affected by video games addiction and it is affecting your day-to-day life, then look up on Google video game addiction. There are some support groups out there that can help you through this time. Staying on topic with FIFA, EA have announced their latest iteration of the FIFA series has become available on EA Access. EA Access, for those that don't know, is a subscription service that allows players to effectively rent certain games for an unlimited period of time by paying £3.99 a month. On top of that, users can have early access to EA games 5 days prior to their launch. For EA, that's either a blessing or a curse, with the latter being the case with Mass Effect Andromeda, as it was the early access footage that started the controversy with poor character animations, no doubt denting EA's day one sales of the game. FIFA 17 is the latest game to be added onto the EA Access back catalogue, with games like Dragon Age Origins and Medal of Honor Airborne also becoming available later on in the next couple of months. What game would you like to see on EA Access's back catalogue? Let us know in the comments below. Moving on, the must-have gadget of last year's Christmas period was undoubtedly Nintendo's NES Mini. The nostalgic throwback to a simpler time where ping, lag and griefers weren't a problem was a massive success at the holiday period. Now, Nintendo recently announced that they were discontinuing the NES Mini, but that's not all that seems to be on the horizon. Whilst Nintendo said they always intended the NES Mini, which had 30 games pre-installed, to be a temporary affair, some users were still left disgruntled after the announcement, as stock was never really replenished after the Christmas period. Despite the discontinuation, the rumours are that Nintendo are working on the SNES Mini, the NES's follow-up for this year's holiday season. This will probably be dependent on sales of the Nintendo Switch, which would undoubtedly make more money in the long run for Nintendo. The NES Mini sells for almost 4 times its recommended retail price here in the UK in second-hand stores, just based on how lucrative it was when it came out last year. If Nintendo does go ahead and make the SNES Mini, fingers crossed they make enough for the masses to please them and their fans too. And finally, one developer took it upon themselves to announce their latest game at a pretty low-key event in Croatia this week. John Blow, the creator of both Braid and more recently BAFTA-nominated The Witness, announced his latest game will include at least 25 hours of single player and is, in his own words, a nice little grid-based game. He appeared at Croatia's Reboot Develop conference, where he talked about game development in general and showed a very rough snippet on what he'd been working on, specifically his own game engine. If you want to check out John's development process of a game he made, I'd highly recommend Indie Game the Movie on Netflix. It shows how he created Braid and it went from minnows to massive success on Xbox's arcade. It's a pretty neat documentary. And that's the news. Head over to GameGrin.com where you can check out the trending articles of the week. You can join in the discussion to help name Fat Shark's latest game. And Ethan Butterfield has asked the question, whatever happened to Condemned? But I couldn't read that one. Too many flashbacks of me jumping scared behind sofas. Don't forget to follow GameGrin on social media to never miss a beat. Show us your thumbs either up or down to tell us what you think. I've been TGK for GameGrin.com and I'll see you next time with all the latest video gaming news. Ta-ra for now.